Ayurveda's thrust is Panchakarma. There are 5 methods of boosting your immune system. But I tell you, better than that, there's only one system. Love everybody. Love everybody. Hate nobody. Don't do anything in overdose. Do what you love and love what you do. Have a wife or husband of your choice if you can. But if you can't, love the husband or the wife that you get. ശരിയല്ല മോളെ? All wives are happy. All wives are happy. But the truth, there's a beautiful book called Stress and Distress, written by one of the Pandits of stress research called, what is his name? O'Malley. No, his name is something else. Anyway, I'll come back to that. And he writes there beautifully, if you love what you do, and if you love your surroundings, all the associates, you love your boss, you love your assistant, you love your wife, you love your husband, you have no problem at all in life. Our problem is we don't love people. We hate people, H-A-T-E, and that's the most dangerous thing to happen. When you hate somebody, your problems start. That is why in Ayurveda, there are 5 levels of the mind. The mind is one word in English language, but in Sanskrit there are 5 levels. Manas is the mind of a child. You know, so beautiful. Have you seen a child, newborn child? Recently? No. If you're not, go to the maternity ward and see the newborn child. There are 2 kinds of children. One child comes out and very curious. You know. Another child, the first one is coming here for the first time, so it's curious to know what's happening. The second one has come here several times. It couldn't care less what is happening. It has seen it all. But they smile at everyone the minute they start spotting people. Maybe a few months. Smile at anybody. B.M.Hegde comes, it smiles. Jiten comes, it smiles. And whoever comes, it smiles. But do you do that? No, you don't do that. You smile at certain people and you don't want to see someone else's face. That is where the problem starts. I've been following this, what's called HRV. We are doing studies for about 40 years now. Heart rate variability. A child's heart is very interesting. When the child breathes, the heart runs fast. When the child breathes out, it runs slow. Which we, foolish Western physiologists, call it as sinus arrhythmia. That is the real rhythmia. Arrhythmia is health and rhythmia is death. Now, as you grow old and start hating people, then your heart becomes regular and regular and regular and regular. HRV decreases. And the day it totally stops and you're absolutely regular, you're dead. Don't laugh, I'm seriously telling you. I wish I had my slides to show you how this happens, you know. These people who become absolutely regular are dead within about a couple of hours. But you can bring them from that state to the child state by doing pranayama. So beautifully. And pranayama is so good that you can bring them back to what's called tranquility. And that's where you can treat or use preventive measures. Yoga has that capacity to do that. That's why, thanks to our Prime Minister, yoga has now been recognized all over the world. A movement which he moved in the UNO, record 172 countries okayed it to have 21st of June as the International Yoga Day. 172 countries. And today you must see, I was in Lisbon last year. They invited me. There's a fascinating place in Lisbon. And there's a man who is Portuguese, but calls himself Swami Surya Prakash Ananda or somebody, and has the ochre robe. And he has got a big band of people doing yoga. And I was there for the 21st, and then we went up to the days, and one old lady comes. Oh, how old is she? 98. And she says, I've been doing yoga for the last 40 years. And she comes, it's a very high days, and some of us had to be helped. She just jumps up and comes. I always tell, you can say a man is healthy or not by knowing what he takes 2 at a time. Did you get that? Stairs and pills. If he takes 2 stairs at a time, he will live another 50 years. If he takes 2 pills at a time, I don't know how long he will live. This girl was taking 2 steps, jumping, 2 stairs. And then she comes and we stand there and we all say, Om. This girl says, Om. By the time we all finished, this girl was still saying, Om. 98. Can you believe that? Such a long vital capacity. So much of vital capacity. Maximum breathing capacity. And her joints were so good because she was using them. That's why now for the Canadian Gerontology Association, I've told them, you teach your people 2 things. A, Indian dance forms, Bharatanatyam. If you are a Bharatanatyam exponent, your joints will be supple even when you're 100. And if you're one of those chanting the Om, your maximum breathing capacity will remain the same for any number of years you live. The 2 things that happen as age advances, A, joint mobility comes down, B, the vital capacity comes down. And you must see these people. And that's how the sinus arrhythmia of a child comes back to the adult also when once you become a child. When do you become a child? When you have no hang-ups. Child has no hang-up. I shouldn't talk to these people. No, I should, this is a meeting, I should like this and I should. Why all those restrictions? You want to yawn? Yawn to your heart's content. Child yawns, no? You must see the sophisticated westernized lady. Why that? You want to, burp? Burp. It's normal. You want to fart? Fart loudly. What is there? Haven't you seen Auden's poem on farting? He says, you must know how to fart. Very nice. Auden, very big English poem. He says, his poem is there. No man can smell his fart. You can smell everyone else's fart, not yours. Some realize a child doesn't restrict it. Supposing it wants to fart, just a child doesn't say, I'll hold it on. Each time you hold it on, your blood pressure goes up. You're holding it on, breathing against closed glottis, which is Valsalva maneuver. You're almost killing yourself. Remember that. Fart, man. What is there? No, I'm just not joking. Seriously telling you. Become a child. Become a child in every aspect of it. That means your heart rate variability will come back to child's sinus arrhythmia. And when once that happens, that's why that is a manas. Now the child is sent to school. Right? There, child is given some information. Time ayamane. Ini jan is restrict time illan ingane paranjade. Angane, sheri. Time limit restricts, Yesterday I was worried because, there's the time is there, so much of programs to go on, and the children were waiting for dancing, etc. So I didn't want to. Restrict and the blood pressure went up. Innella free for all. So what happens? You just send the child to school. School is said, this is B.M.Hegde, this is so and so, that is so and so, this is so and so, etc., etc. And that level of the mind is called buddhi. You know what buddhi is? What you are told. You are told. You are told you should not fart in public. That's buddhi. But child doesn't have buddhi, it's a manas. It farts. So buddhi. That's why I say every newborn child is a genius, wrote Alexis Carrel, only to be converted an idiot in school. So you become an idiot. So in the minute you become an idiot, then you become buddhi. Then after buddhi is the next level, where buddhi creates chitta. Chitta is buddhi plus ego. I am B.M.Hegde. I am A, B, C, D, E, F, G or some whatever it is. That is called chitta. And that's the level you get lot of problems in the mind. Chitta, vritti, undulations. Nirodha yogaha, Patanjali wrote. At the chitta level, you have so much of agitation in the mind. If you can control it, put a nirod there, not the government one, it leaks. But the real one. You become a sannyasi, you become so tranquil. So that's exactly what is called yoga. chitta vritti nirodha yoga. Yoga is not kusti. All that kusti you do, asanas, they are not yoga. Real yoga is chitta vritti nirodha yoga. And yoga is not joining the Atman with Paramatman, etc., etc. Actually, Patanjali was an atheist. He never believed in God. But chitta is chitta vritti nirodha yoga. So no religion can have any objection for yoga because it's not anything to do with religion. It's just the mind. That's all.